Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the geeks out there in Idle Geekdom, and welcome to a rather weird day today. We're not supposed to be doing this, but we're doing this. It's not Monday. At least you guys better hope it's not Monday. Welcome to a Geek-Inspired Podcast on this beautiful Wednesday evening, where we will be talking to a good friend, a great cosplayer. Actually, to be honest, one of my favorite cosplayers. Honestly, he has made some of the best stuff you have ever seen. And if you were at Comic-Con Africa, the first time was ever in South Africa, or Africa, you would have seen him as a Predator. Get up for Fred Wolf Cosplay on the left-hand side of us.
Hey! Everyone.
And below us, obviously, Geekoscopy. He's not that important, though. So.
Yeah, I'm just furniture on the show.
We love you, Chins. What's up, Fred?
Doing good. What's up on your side?
About the same, really. So, before we get started with all this conversational questions and whatnot, we would prefer to actually say, tell us a little bit about yourself, so that our fans know who we're talking to.
All right, so I'm Fred Wolf Cosplay. Oh my God, I can't talk anymore. I'm Fred Wolf Cosplay from Mauritius. I'm 29. I've been cosplaying for like almost 7 years. I'm a three-time champion in Mauritius and 2 times Masters champion in South Africa. And that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, I have a cosplay partner named Akasha, who's always with me at convention, so you may have seen her also.
That is epic. Now, this is usually Kez's forte because she is the cosplayer between the two of us. I'm the
three of us.
Gamer, she's the cosplayer. Well, cosplay person. She likes to get involved with the cosplayers more than I do. But there is one thing I'd like to know. How's lockdown down there in Mauritius?
Oh, actually, things are really great right now. The lockdown is up and it's over. We are not in lockdown anymore since like 2 weeks, if my memory is good.
Lucky you.
We haven't had a case in around a month and a half. So things are pretty good here. We haven't opened the borders yet. So no one's getting in, no one's getting out, but it's fine here. People are starting to go out again. Work has resumed, and yeah, it's pretty good. How is it on your side?
We're still in lockdown.
Yeah.
We're stuck here in lockdown for a very long time. Unfortunately, Scotland is like South Africa when it comes to South Africa and the rest of the world. The world's like going forward really quickly, and South Africa's taking the scenic route.
Yeah.
Same thing with Scotland. The UK is going forward, and Scotland's like taking the scenic route. So
just
same
short
thing.
left. Yeah, short left. Yeah, we have different levels of lockdown. We're on level 3 now, and we're hoping to get down at some point, but I don't know where. But for right now, it's social distancing and staying at home. And but I imagine I don't know what industry you work in. I probably should have looked it up. But Mauritius probably has a very big tourism industry. And tourism is pretty much obliterated by Corona. Do you see any effects of that where you live?
Where I live, not really. Like I said, things are just getting back to normal here. But on the tourism side, I think some hotels have closed. My memory is good. I haven't really been following what's been going on here, to be honest.
It's usually a bit too serious for this show. I was just wondering, just curious.
Hotels are having issues for sure. But on the other side, it's pretty okay, I think.
That's really awesome.
Ooh.
So Waza said, Blue Monkey Waza, Fred, says, Fred got a shirt on. Lol, he knows what it's about.
For once.
And apparently you don't need him to send you shirts anymore.
I got one. I finally got a shirt. I do those cosplays who don't have shirts and who are like bare-chested.
Yes, he is the king of Instagram shirtlessness.
Oh, come on.
You thought you'd escape, didn't you? Well, the world knows you're there.
I'm trying to get covered more and more these past years, as you can see with Predator and Spawn. But before that, I was really going for the shirtless characters. It's easier to wear. You don't sweat a lot in the costume. So
It makes sense.
anything to be more comfortable, eh?
So,
sure.
what was the very, very first cosplay outfit that you made?
Really, I didn't make the outfit. It was mostly a closet cosplay. It was Dante from the DMC reboot. It was in 2014. No, 2013. My very first convention, actually, the local convention. And I didn't know how to sew. I still could craft a bit. I didn't know about foam or all the materials and tools that cosplayers used. So I just did a sword out of cardboard and mostly cardboard. It broke on stage with me at the con during my performance.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's a funny memory that I have of my very first cosplay. I had the vest sewn for me by a tailor. So yeah, not really a made cosplay by myself. I made a sword, even if it broke.
What's the convention scene like in your country versus coming to South Africa and performing here? What are the differences?
It's really small here. It's really small. We have only one annual convention every December. To compare it to, for example, Comic-Con Africa, I'd say that it's most I could say is 5% of Comic-Con.
Oh, that's tiny.
Wow.
Very small. We don't have a lot of cosplayers. I think in all we have maybe 40 to 45 or maybe 50 cosplayers here, but only about 10 people who really get involved into cosplay, who really get involved into crafting a lot, and who keep making cosplays every year. So there might be 10 of them. So we are really, really a small community here. Okay, really, really small. It's growing every year, but it's a step-by-step thing. There's a long way to reach Comic-Con level. A really long way.
Well, at least it's starting somewhere.
Yeah.
It has to grow from something. So it's nice to know and to hear that it actually is growing your side as well. And maybe we can all go to Mauritius one day for one of your conventions.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
It'd be an expensive trip for us.
It's worth it. Mauritius is beautiful. It's fine.
You see, South Africans, it's a bit easier because it's closer.
It's even more expensive for me have moved. I mean, if you were still in SA, it would have been very less expensive.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros and cons.
So Dark Knight Hayes on the Twitch chat wants to know what made you choose to come to South Africa for the conventions?
It was the closest one. I always wanted to go to Comic-Con, same for Akasha. And by the start of 2018, when they announced that there was going to be that very first Comic-Con on the African continent, we were like, okay, this one, we got to go. And flights to South Africa are way cheaper than flights to elsewhere, like Australia, France, other countries, Europe, or even the States. So we were like, okay, South Africa is close, and we need to give it a try, and so we did.
And how did you enjoy it?
Right?
Choose you first.
What's going on in Madagascar there? Fairly close to there. Is there anything interesting going on there?
Oh, what's going on? You mean in terms of cosplay or in general?
Yeah, in terms of conventions, cosplay, that sort of thing.
Oh, so they have an annual cosplay convention too. I'm actually in touch with some of the people there. Really nice people, nice cosplayers actually. But what I've heard lately, COVID has just begun rising there as of late.
Okay.
So might have to cancel the conventions and maybe do an online thing or something like that. But it's pretty bad for them right now because the outbreak has just begun like a few weeks ago, I think.
Interesting. So late. They probably
Yeah, so
relatively
late.
closed
That's
off.
crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe. And everyone is getting better. Like, everywhere it's getting better. They're starting to really get it hard, but
Yeah, that's terrible, actually. So, my question is not really one of those there, but how did you enjoy Comic-Con? I mean,
Your
actually
first
being
time.
in South Africa and experiencing South African Comic-Con. How was that for you?
it was amazing. It was amazing. Both times were absolutely amazing. The first time we were sad, but we didn't get to go around the whole event and see absolutely everything because we were so busy with the competition. And the second time they added like an additional day. We got to really go around all the stores, see all the performers and stuff. It was freaking amazing. I absolutely loved it. And like I always say, Akasha and I, since Comic-Con Africa is our first Comic-Con, we've made it ground zero. So we're always going to go to Comic-Con Africa. Even if we move to other countries, which is a goal for us, we're always going to come back to South Africa for Comic-Con Africa because we really love it. Not only the cosplay scene, but even like the country, the food is really amazing. And you guys have stores, which is something we do not have here. We went around a lot of stores last year, and I bought like around 30 comics, I think. I couldn't help myself. Like every time I was seeing a comic book, I was like, okay, I need to get that. I need to get that one. We go to another store. Oh, I need to get that one too. And this one. It was an amazing experience being in SA. Really, really an amazing.
So the food is the big pickup there. Clearly, a lot of people up here in Scotland have said the same thing. Because they recognize the voices, the accents. And they say the same thing. It's the food. I don't know what it is about South African food, but they seem to enjoy it.
It's really good. I had the chance of attending a braai.
Yes, that is South Africa.
We had it up here too.
It's just called a barbecue.
Yeah, no, I call them braais. The Scots call them barbecues.
Okay. Because one time we were talking to people organizing the braai actually, and it was like we were like, oh, it's like a barbecue. We're like, no, don't say that. Don't compare it to a barbecue. It's a braai.
Braai is its own thing.
Braai is different. Yeah.
It is definitely different.
Yeah. It's also like when you describe biltong, like only the person who's describing biltong is allowed to say it's kind of like jerky. You can't do it the other way around.
Yeah, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So it's not one of the questions that we put up, but it is something that I meant to ask and I forgot, and then I remembered. So you and Akasha have been cosplay partners for a year. How long have you guys been working together as cosplay partners, and what made you decide to team up together?
We actually met at my second convention. It was in 2014. And we immediately clicked. Like she had that really cool Harley Quinn cosplay. And I was doing Devil Jin, a really cheap version. I wasn't really good at crafting back then. And we were like, okay, she saw my performance on stage and she wanted to try things like that. So we befriended there. We kept in touch. We kept in touch like for the time that came after, like a few months after. And we were like, hey, back then there was a second annual event, which was for her university. And she wanted to compete. Okay, so I was like, okay, man. Wanted someone to be in her performance to fight her, and I was like, okay, I can do it. So we put up a show together, performed it, and she actually won the competition. And that's where it really started. And ever since, we kept working together on cosplays, doing a lot of performances. We kept doing the university competition for like 4 years, and it stopped. It has stopped afterwards. Like they stopped the competition. They don't do the event anymore. But for the 4 years that she competed and I was in her scene, we won actually. So we kept going on and on and on, and that's also when I started to win the competitions here. When she was in my performance, because we have that really cool chemistry when we perform together. And that's something that really helped create that bond between us. And we're like, okay, as from now on, we're going to be cosplay partners. And everywhere we go together when it comes to cosplay things. But it's really cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
You guys work really well together as well. So it's absolutely awesome to see what you guys pull out. And we're always excited to see what you guys do. Because nothing is ever the same, which makes it that much more interesting as well.
Yeah, we try to a different approach each time we put on a show, each time we put on like new projects. We take new projects, cosplay projects. We try to level up, but we also try to try different things. You know, sometimes we try to add some fun stuff into the cosplay, some comedy, and sometimes we just stay on the badass side. It depends on the characters also that we choose, but we try to evolve different directions.
Do you guys have any like WCS aspirations? How would you even get there? Do you have to do it through South Africa?
Actually, we cannot.
Cannot at all.
We would love to take part in the WCS, but their rules are really, really strict. And to be able to be on the WCS, you have to be a native or have a PR of the country that's entering. And Mauritius cannot enter right now because you have there's a lot of formalities that goes on to get the country to enter it. And let's say if we want to, we thought about it and we reached out to them, to Japanese guys, to try to get Mauritius on board. But they told us that first they have to send like a staff member from there or a judge or something like that come to Mauritius on our expenses for 3 consecutive years for our annual event, judge how it is here, the level. And if it works, then the first year we can only go to assist, to spectate the competition. And then the year after that, we'll be able to take part. But that's like a 4-year process.
Yeah.
We count it a 4-year process.
Jeez.
We can really compete, which is really, really, really hard. And another issue we have here in Mauritius is that a lot of cosplayers, most of them, like 90% of them, don't like to perform. They love to craft, love to make cosplays, and they make really, really cool cosplays. We have some really amazing cosplayers here, but they hate the stage. Like, they don't like to perform. Performance just ain't their thing. Akasha and I are like the rare cosplayers who really love to perform. So it's gonna be pretty hard to get Mauritius onto the WCS scene.
Yeah.
Because of all that stuff. Because like performance in WCS is like one of their main points. I think you get more points on the performance and on the costume. They do judge both, but they consider the performance more than the costume. So it's a dream. It's a dream, but not one that's going to be achieved anytime soon. Unless we get some permanent residency in SA.
Yeah. Is there no way to link? Oh, you said it has to be a native of a place, but I don't see why like you can't then go. I don't know. It's weird rules, I suppose.
It's very strange.
Because it comes down to the skills at the end of the day. Like, what is this nonsense? But I suppose, yeah, it's Japan. They have weird rules and weird traditions and stuff like that. Yeah, so.
They're really, really strict. Really strict. And you can't bypass anything, fortunately.
Jeez, hectic. That is actually madness hectic.
It's unnecessary. It's supposed to be a fun thing, you know. It's like it's not like writing a scientific paper or something where there's like sets of rules. This is like I don't see where
even then, there's no real set of rules when it comes to finding something new. If you discover something new, it's a whole new experience, even for you guys, as scientists. It's no different. So, you two are in the same boat.
So, in chat, there's a bug flying around.
You guys are under siege. The insects are attacking.
Sorry, I got a piece of cat hair in my mouth.
So in chat, Kuya is asking, outside of conventions, what have you been involved with as a cosplayer? He remembers that you did a Marvel thing for Endgame. But before you answer, he says that you should immigrate to Johannesburg. And then I said you and Akasha should immigrate.
Oh, a lot of them have been saying that, and it's not out of the way. It's definitely a plan we're considering, maybe. Not sure. We're still 50-50 on it. It's quite hard to live Mauritius. I've been great for like the past 29 years. So, but we're thinking of it. Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe not in the near future, a few years. I don't know, but that might happen.
You shared it first, folks. Exclusive. Podcast exclusive.
And to answer his first question, we do cosplay stuff at shopping malls also for kids. And we also do charity events. Like, for example, last December there was a charity event for kids who come from a poor family. It was a Christmas event, and we just went there in cosplay, and it always puts a smile on their face, and it makes us happy to be able to do that.
That's awesome.
Try to introduce cosplay as a mean of enlightening the days of our children, however we can.
Okay, so Dark Knight Hayes wants to know, what is the most amazing cosplay you've seen pulled off? So in other words, someone else pulled off the cosplay. What's the most amazing one you've seen?
Wow. It depends on the category, I think. Skitty's cosplay was freaking amazing last year. I was so freaking impressed by it. Yeah, that's some amazing sewing. Really, really good sewing. Other than that, I've seen a couple mostly prosthetic-based cosplays of monsters. I don't remember the name of the artist, like the cosplayers who did it. But it's hard to just pinpoint one cosplay, But I've seen a lot. I've seen a Godzilla cosplay, like full version Godzilla with the lights on and smoke coming out of the mouth. That was really amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh.
So an Iron Man cosplay with all the parts moving, like a lot of animatronics in it, LEDs, and also smoke. That was also freaking amazing. And there's a lot like that.
Yeah. Did you see that Gundam in Japan?
Sorry?
Did you see that Gundam that they had in Japan?
Oh, yeah.
Mechanized Gundam. That was freaking amazing.
Life-size one.
Yeah, it was a life-size one. It was huge. It was like I think 4 stories tall or something. It was massive. Yeah. It was really awesome.
That's some next level stuff. Not cosplay, though. I don't think there was someone in it.
No, I don't think.
The Japanese are just like, we can build them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how to say it. Muj said that they're really proud of our champion. You make us proud, Mauritian cosplayer. Make us known and make our tiny island really proud.
Oh, that's Mujahid from Mauritius. That guy is an amazing cosplayer. You guys should check him out. He has an amazing Daedric cosplay from Skyrim.
Oh, wow.
And also amazing Imperius.
I'd love to see that.
He's like one of the top guys here. Amazing cosplayer and a really cool guy, really funny.
Okay, well, Muj, consider yourself followed by the SA Geeks. We're definitely going to follow you because we always follow the cosplayers, and if our friends suggest it, we generally follow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Junes, it's your turn to ask a question.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I saw one of the questions, but I want to reframe it. If you had unlimited money and maybe people to help you. Like what like massive cosplay would you start building right now?
Ooh, massive cosplay. I think I would go for a Hulkbuster Iron Man armor. Fully functional one. I mean, not fully functional. I should rocket and stuff at people. One, like I mentioned, the Iron Man I saw before, fully animatronics with all the parts moving on their own. Maybe something like that. But that's one cosplay I would really need help with to build.
Imagine a Hulkbuster walking around Comic-Con. Would you even be able to get anywhere? You mean like just kicking over stalls and stuff? No, I would love to see that.
I mean, making a normal Hulkbuster wouldn't be really. I mean, it would take a lot of time, but it's still doable. I'm pretty sure I can make it. But one with really functional things, that would be the dream. Yeah.
I'm going onto Instagram quickly before I forget the dude's name.
Moosh.
Well, I'll ask my questions.
You lost your questions.
I've got one for you. This is one from Kez's heart, I'm sure. Actually, she can ask the question. Number 2. Go for it.
What made you get so involved with helping the homeless animals in Mauritius?
Oh, wow.
Because I see your posts and I try not to cry, but I take my hat off to you for actually doing it.
Respect.
What got me into helping them? I'm gonna go back to a lot of years ago when I was still a kid, just to explain how I got involved with how I got to love dogs that much to begin with. And that's a story that a lot of people won't know, and a lot of people will know right now. As a kid, one day we were at my grandparents' place, which is in the south of Mauritius, and I was a little adventurer. I ventured into the woods, and I got lost. Couldn't find my way back.
Oh no!
Fortunately, out of nowhere, here comes my grandparents' dog. And I knew the dog was used to leaving the premises early in the morning and come back late in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to follow the dog until the afternoon so I can find my way back to my grandparents' place since I was lost. The dog immediately took me to my grandparents. I was like, oh, somehow that dog maybe not saved my life, but helped me find my way back. Or I could say it saved my life. I was freaking lost. I don't know what could have happened. And that's when I really started to grow fond of dogs. And now why I'm helping dogs all the way around Mauritius is if we don't do it, if we dog lovers don't do it, nobody else does. Sometimes you can see like an accident by the road and you see 100 person passing by. Not a single one will stop to take care of that dog. And that dog doesn't have a mouth. It has a mouth, of course, but it doesn't have a voice to speak to us. Hey, help me, please, So that's why I do everything I can to help dogs all around the country. And even overseas, sometimes I like to donate a lot to soil dog foundations and also other dog safe organizations. So yeah, that's my main motto is that a dog saved me when I was a kid. I'm just repaying back. One of the reasons I'm repaying back all of the dogs on Mauritius and also around the world, however I can, to help them. Because they don't have a voice, like I said, so we should move to get them help. It pains me,
That's intense respect, dude. Believe me, Kez and I understand.
It's really, really amazing. And as Waza's little doggy, legendary pitbull Broly in the chat says, legendary human Fred. And we
it takes a lot to actually do what you do. Kez and I, obviously, we do the same thing as you do. We donate. We actually worked with the First Creators United to actually help with that, and that was one of the big things. So from our hearts, we know exactly what it feels like to actually want to take care of an animal that has no voice, that can't really, speak or anything like that. And
that's why I want a big farm so that I can, if I see a dog, I can just come with me. Just come with me. It's fine. We'll
Just
take you
remember,
home.
farms are very expensive in
I
Scotland.
know.
No, you're gonna have to come back to South Africa and get a cheaper farm.
Yeah.
On the note of taking care of animals, this weekend there's a streaming initiative called Streamers for Conservation. And there's a bunch of us that are streaming to help feed the animals at, I think it's Kango Wildlife Center. So head over to those guys. I think Google it. They have a Facebook page and look at the list of streamers. Maybe give them a watch and donate if you can, because during lockdown it's very difficult to get food for the animals and to pay workers and stuff. So it's been rough.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll definitely do that on our side. Yeah, so the heart-wrenchingness, let's not like make
Let's
people
go too deep, yeah.
Yeah, you know, we don't want like our viewers crying for the rest of the show. So
Gregory Batman wants to know, what's your new project?
I have a couple ones. I had to not drop but postpone my big project, the newest what I was doing, which was my kind of old father Viking 4 that I was preparing for Comic-Con this year for the competition. I had to, I haven't really announced it yet. I just mentioned that it may be happening, but I'm most probably sure, like 90% sure, that I'm going to have to postpone it for next year.
yeah,
I haven't been able to get the materials shipped to Mauritius. Our post office haven't been working at all during the COVID lockdown. So it's pretty late right now to get everything shipped. I won't have time to complete it. So that aside, I'm also working on a comic book version of Thor. As for the past year, I've been doing Thor every time with a belly and stuff, and I'm like, okay, that's quite uncomfortable. You know, it's really good to see. It's really cool, but it's really. I tend to get really sweaty in it. It's a full armor. Now I'm working on the toned down version, a comic book version, which I'll be wearing to walk around a little bit easier and a little bit less.
Guys, you just want to get naked again.
Maybe. I'm also working on Craven, Craven the Hunter from Spider-Man, and he has that very, very small vest. It's almost bare-chested. So yeah, I'm getting bare-chested again.
Dude, Craven is a cool character to actually cosplay. You pull Craven off, dude, and you're gonna have my respect, like forever. I mean, you already got my respect for that Predator that you did at the first Comic-Con, dude. That was like the ultimate. When I saw that, I was like, this guy is someone we have to follow. And Kez agreed.
And then we started stalking you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's obviously kidding.
I loved you when you guys came to me like, hey, Fred, thank you for what you're doing for the dogs in Mauritius. I'm like, oh, wow. Because normally people come to me and talk about cosplay stuff, and you guys are like, oh, thank you for what you do for the dogs. I'm like, okay, these are cool people. I got you.
We care that much about animals, dude, and we're happy to know that we're not the only ones.
Yeah. So also on a non-cosplayer related note, when did you start singing in a band and playing your guitar?
Yes, a man after my own heart. Someone else who actually plays music and whatnot.
2 steps left over there.
You play too.
On the down low, I play guitar and I sing. I'm also in a band.
Oh, that's cool, man. I actually started playing guitar in 2007. That I was still in high school, and I got inspired by my brother and my cousins who always played at get-togethers, family gatherings and stuff. And so I was like, okay, but let's give it a try. And I really loved it. And the singing came along. And I had a lot of friends who were also musicians. We banded together and we started doing like small gigs. And band got dismantled as soon as high school was over. You know how it goes. I kept in touch with some of them, and from time to time we would just like join again, go to the studio, have a little rehearsal, and then play in some gigs. It was never really a big thing. Like we never went as far as writing our own songs, so we were always doing covers and stuff. But it was a really fun experience. And fun fact, I was in a band that was supposed to actually start writing songs and working on an album right before Comic-Con Africa. And that's where it was like the point for me to choose a side. It was either going to be musical side, or I'm going to put all my efforts into cosplay.
Yeah.
And obviously I went with cosplay.
Well, I mean, I get where you're coming from. Obviously, we've got the same issue on our side. I've managed to figure out that the best way that we can work around it is actually start integrating the music into our streams. So have you ever considered doing something like that, where you can integrate the music into your cosplay? That way you've got best of both worlds, you know? Write some action for your cosplay.
I have some covers ideas that I would do, hopefully. For example, there's that really catchy song, Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin in Thor Ragnarok. So I was like, okay, what if I cosplay as Thor and do a cover of that song?
Yeah,
I haven't
Do it!
song, dude, fuck it hell.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah. You need to come out with that shirt that has like a speaker on it, the one in Big Bang Theory, and like walk everywhere with your theme song. Yeah,
that is something you should definitely do. Is like have a big speaker here.
Just push a button.
Okay, segue. Favorite band. Since you're talking about Led Zeppelin, that can't be your favorite band though. What is your ultimate band of all time?
I'm thinking of trying to find one band that I call my favorite one, but it's really hard. I listen to so many genres of music, mostly rock and roll stuff, and rock things.
Not the only one.
It's hard to pick one band, you know, because I love a lot of bands from.
I'll break it down. Favorite three for you, because I know it's difficult. I have the same issue. So I'll give you 3 because it's a lot easier then.
Ooh.
Top 3. Top 3.
Oh,
This is
so I'm gonna pick one from different genres, and
that's fine.
Say, on the metal side, I'm gonna say, Switch Engage, maybe.
Nice.
Fan of Switch. It's hard to just pick them because I'm also a fan of a lot of other metal bands.
Yeah.
I think I'll pick Killswitch for the metal side, and if I need to pick one for, say, pop rock stuff, I would go maybe with.
Say that again. Which one?
Repeat.
Or Scottish band. That song, really catchy song.
Totally
but anyway, it's Travis. The genre that I listen to. I don't know. Actually, I listen to metal and rock and pop rock. Maybe Muse.
The Muse. Nice choice.
All albums, like the first 4 albums, but then they moved to a different style, you know. But it doesn't really fit my kind.
Yeah, dude, Black Holes and Revelations was probably like their last good album.
Yeah, I agree.
It started going down after that.
So Black Holes and Revelations and everything that came before that.
100. There, dude. We're like the same person here, bro. I feel exactly the same as you. That is exactly the same thought.
You found your doppelganger, Ross.
Yeah, I found my Mauritian doppelganger.
On that note, Chicken Wingers says that Ziff and Fred should team up next year at a convention and do a musical number together.
What, you walk around with a guitar strapped to my back or something.
Yeah, and then you play his theme song for his character. It's going around.
You can play. Fred can walk around in the cosplay, and you can follow him around playing the music.
Led Zeppelin. Yeah, one of the hardest guitar riffs to play.
I think we should do that.
I think we've lost video. Oh, there we go.
No.
This video's back again.
Nice there.
For a second there, Fred just froze.
Waza wants to know, what are your thoughts on no Comic-Con this year?
Ooh. I mean, we're still having the online thing, which is cool, still cool. So we're still having Comic-Con somehow. Speak for Akasha also for that one. We are really, really, really sad that we are going to be able to come to SA for Comic-Con, because we were so looking forward to that. Like, just put the competition aside, just the fact of coming, meeting with all of the SA community, the cosplay community, which is really amazing, and all the amazing people we've met there last year and the year before. We've made a lot of friends, and we were really looking forward to meet all of them. And that's the downside of being able to come. So we're really sad about that.
Yeah, no, it does suck.
My
We've got
cat
to
has
get you
been
up this side
crying.
as well, so you can experience Scotland.
Ooh, looking forward.
There's Comic-Cons here too.
A lot.
There's actually shitloads of Comic-Cons here. We've got like a Comic-Con every month. Well,
When it was
when
not lockdown.
lockdown wasn't happening, we had like a Comic-Con every month.
Wow.
Each little town has a tiny little convention every now and then.
Mm.
That
And we've
is
got one
really
just away
nice.
from us, so it's awesome, dude.
I think it's
And here, like I said, it's like the opposite. We just have one convention each year, so just think about how hard it is.
What are the differences that's going through your mind when you're trying to perform music versus performing in character in your cosplay?
When I'm performing as a character, let's say for a cosplay skit, you need to really stick to that character's personality, way of moving around and stuff. You need to become that character. Whereas when I'm performing a song on stage, I can be myself. Even if I'm doing like a cover of a band song, like obviously I've never written a song in my life. I always done covers. I get to be myself. Let's say, for example, I'm not in a mood to run around the stage with my guitar, which sometimes I do. I would just stay still in front of the mic and play my guitar and sing. But if I'm in the mood to run around, I can run around. Whereas when you're doing a skit in cosplay, you need to stick to the character. If the character is someone who doesn't smile, you can't smile.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
yeah, it's got to
Try
be the hard part.
on your shoes, just being yourself.
Yeah,
Which one is more difficult for you? Is it more difficult to be yourself, or is it more difficult to stay in a character that's not yours?
Actually, being myself is quite easy. I guess it is for everyone.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that it's harder to embody a character, a cosplay, because I've got used to it. I've been doing it so long and so many times. We've done so many skits with Akasha, and even before that, I was doing skits alone and stuff. It has become like a second nature. Like, you give me a character, I need to cosplay that character. I immediately get into the shoes of that character. It's not hard at all.
yeah. No, that makes sense. It's your turn.
Pretty
Hmm?
cool.
It's your turn.
My turn.
Yeah, sure.
So, if you could be any character other than Thor, who would you choose and why?
That's a really hard question, because if you didn't mention other than Thor, my obvious answer would have been Thor. I don't know
That's
how
why I
you guys.
said other than Thor.
I don't know how you guessed, but yeah, my pick would have been Thor. So.
She's psychic. She's psychic that way. She just knows.
Okay. So, would I choose? I think I would go for Kratos. Overall, just because like I've loved the games. Ever
Oh,
since
yes.
I played.
They're epic.
I don't want to live his crushing story. You know, I don't want to kill my family and become that enraged and kill all the gods all around. But if I could get in his shoes, like be the character and have his his powers and stuff for just one day, I would go for Kratos for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's, dude. That would be the ultimate freaking power.
Okay, we got a question from the YouTube chat from Queerbray. I think is jumping across, but he asks: aside from cosplay, music, and saving all the animals on the planet, is there other hobbies that you're really into or would like to get into in the future?
Oh, a gamer. Also a gamer. Play a lot of video games, mostly PlayStation.
Oh,
I've heard, but
Nice.
cannot.
you and me, dude. First class.
Same person.
PSN, we was joined.
Last year, I told a friend asked me the same question, and I said, yeah, I'm also a gamer. And he was like, on what platform do you play? I was like, I play on PC and PlayStation, but I'm mostly a PlayStation guy. He was like, you cannot say that you're a gamer if you don't fully play on PC. I was like, what? Why?
Why?
Says who?
Bullshit, man. Any console, any platform would be a gamer.
That person
How
knows
is-
nothing about anything. I can tell you that much.
Exactly. But there you go. How I see it is, if you can play Call of Duty on a console, you can play it on any platform.
I think the
It's a
only
game.
one that doesn't really count is if you play on your phone.
Yeah, if you play on your phone, it's like, okay.
Candy Crush!
And I
Yeah,
told
exactly.
myself my phone was really like
Although, to be honest, they have Call of Duty on your phone now as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's difficult to say a mobile gamer is not a mobile gamer anymore because you
Yeah.
can get some really cool games in there. And they've been porting JRPGs from like the SNES era to Android and iOS and stuff. And those are hardcore games. So I'm not discounting mobile anymore. I think those days are over. I think mobile is
Dude, I'm
dangerous.
JRPGs on mobile.
I guess it's 50-50 because you get some people who play Candy Crush. They call themselves gamers.
They're not. Those are not gamers.
Those are not gamers.
So if you exclusively play Candy Crush, you're not a gamer.
No, that's a person who plays games on their phone, but they're not a gamer. But if you play
But
Final
yeah,
Fantasy VI on your phone, that's a gamer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Black Desert, dude. Black Desert as well. That's also on the phones now. I know I'm playing that on my phone and the computer. So, but anyway, I've got a lacquer question for you here, Brie. Okay, lacquer. I got an awesome question for you, Brie, because you probably don't. You know lacquer, man. You beat South Africa.
I know. I've heard it a couple of times and I've asked around, and I kind of learned it before me. And she was like, "Hey, you know that word lacquer?" And I was like, "Oh no, what does it mean?" It means awesome. Like something is lacquer, something is awesome. I was like, "Oh, cool, that's lacquer."
Exactly. I got like the best question in the world, dude. Coming from one person who's played on stage and had them so many times, what is the worst performance, not the worst performance, the worst gig you had ever had where like the shit just didn't work, dude? Nothing worked. Your guitar would bomb, your string snapped, your mic stopped working, any of the shit like that. What is the worst gig you've ever had?
Ooh, it was at high school. Had an event and they wanted us to play. So my friends and I did some rehearsals and stuff at studios. And when we came the day of the gig, they had like the lowest of low budget settings, like in terms of the gears, like the sound system, the audio, and like the worst of the worst. Even the microphone wouldn't work properly, and we that's not cool, but we just left. We were like, we ain't doing it.
Just buds.
Yeah. Normally we would have done that. You know, we would try to just get something out of it and play something, but there weren't even enough cable for all the guitars. Had like a bass guy and two guitars. There were like two cables, something like that.
That's terrible.
Worst of the worst for us. And for me,
Please, dude, that sucks.
Okay, before we carry on, there's a hashtag running on our Twitter, on our Twitch feed, saying hashtag Fred is a true gamer. So that is going to be a thing.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you.
Zadie Motala has joined.
Zadie! What's up?
I call him Zadie Bunny. And he says, Jonas, say ons wat jou naam is.
My naam is nie Adrianus nie.
They weren't ready for Freddy.
Oh, no, they weren't ready for Freddy.
He says, what you were saying is they weren't ready for Freddy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dude, you walked on that stage, owning the stage, and they were like, shit, we don't have enough stuff for you. We're not ready for you. Freddy's so awesome. We're not ready for him.
That question can actually work for both your cosplay and your music vibe. So what was your worst cosplay performance that you had?
We're actually talking about it, just happened to be the music thing.
Actually, it's pretty much the same thing that happened with the gig.
What, there weren't enough cable? That doesn't make any sense.
No, not in terms of cable.
Got him.
It's obviously not the same thing, not a cable story this time, but it's really similar. There was one event I attended to, and they asked me to enter the contest. I hadn't prepared anything. I was doing Zoro from One Piece, so I had my swords and stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll just get the music and, just do a little demo or something with the swords. And I took a look at the stage. There was no stage. It was in a little corner of like 2 meters by 2 meters.
Oh dear.
So maybe 2 meters by 3 meters or something like that. And of course, I just left the event. Went back home. I was the only one who did so.
In classic, I mean, you could always say that you were in character as Zoro and got lost. You would have got 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
You see, he's a better man than I am. Because remember, we played that gig.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I would have, if I was judging that contest, I would have given you 10%. I mean, like 10 marks, 10 out of 10.
10%.
Of course,
so what? Like 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I don't know why my brain, part of my brain went percentage, the other part went out of 10. But yeah,
when you mix science with cosplay, it goes like this.
yeah. But in the One Piece anime, Zoro is a character that just gets lost all of the time. So if he doesn't pitch out, it makes sense.
Who knows? Maybe I won that contest actually.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. Yeah.
You left.
Yeah.
So in the chat, Waza saying 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, hide all your shirts. 7, 8, he's a legend, mate. 9, 10, ready to cosplay again.
What's up, bro? You're a legend, bro. Holy shit, that was well done.
And then Zay says, but Fred, why aren't you telling them about that awkward moment when we started singing at the hotel and then nearly kicked us out?
That I know you and Zayd would have done.
We did. We sang Bohemian Rhapsody actually.
Oh, that
memory is good.
I almost kicked you out.
What?
You're the
story.
impersonating queen.
And they were looking at us in a bizarre way, like, what's the problem with these guys? It was fun.
Apparently, it's too awkward to tell the story, Zadie. And then Tom, who's also, Tom and Haley are both also in chat and they say hi. And Tom wants to know, when are you going to serve Haley apple juice again? She is waiting for you next year.
Oh, answered his own question next year.
See, now
next year.
I think Kiz and I were talking about this actually recently. I think there's a reason why this lockdown thing happened this year. So that Kiz and I can get settled in Scotland.
Yes.
And then next year, we can fly down to South Africa and spend Comic-Con with the people we love.
The universe has moved and melded to make this happen.
Yes. It's sort of like become one, and it's understanding that the SA Geeks are no longer in South Africa. And they have to do something for change.
Destroy the world.
Yeah.
Fuck the world. South Africa.
Like they made a list. They made a list of all the possibilities, like all the things they could do, and it was like they were like, let's just throw COVID in. Let's just throw COVID.
We just gotta get rid of a bunch of people. Yeah.
That's what I see. It's like this whole plan for 2020. I was like, nah, fuck it. Boom.
It was like Thanos snapped. He was like, nope, people gotta go. Guts to go.
Yes, Cleo, we cursed you. We cursed the world.
We did. We cursed the entire world. And the funny thing is, it only had to happen between South Africa and the UK, not the entire world.
No, we just wanted 2 places to be affected. Well, no, screw that. Everyone gets it. You get COVID-19. You get COVID-19. Everyone gets COVID.
The crowd.
Well,
gets COVID-19.
yeah. If you think about it, I think there's like so little connection between South Africa and Scotland. Like, what are we importing and exporting there? They were like, we had to destroy the whole world just to connect them in some way.
You talk about what is South Africa importing, bro?
Grapes and avos.
Grapes, avos, and funny enough, some potatoes.
Yeah.
Avos grown in Scotland.
All 3 of those from South Africa.
Oh, the other way around.
Not all the time. But
every now and then,
we'll see in the packaging, it's like imported from South Africa. Like, whoa, what the fuck? Oh, and Nederburg wine as well. We get Nederburg here. So, Savannah.
Of course, yeah. Wine, you're probably getting all over the world from South Africa.
Yeah, so it's Nederburg wine, Savannah, Biltong, Boerewors. Dude, they've got the stuff here. They accommodate South Africans here.
That's good. That's good.
Zadie says, you stay here, send Kez back.
No, not me, dude. You got, dude, it's not the SA Geek, it's the SA Geeks.
Indeed, it's in the name. It's in the name. You can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about what of it?
It's about Fred.
It's about Sir Fred on our left hand side.
What is your favorite game that you have ever played?
Game that I've ever played. Ooh.
Which
another hard question. Yeah, you guys keep asking me hard things.
Okay, what are your top 3 favorite games?
Which are 3?
Resident Evil 4.
Okay, RE4. Okay.
Probably gonna go with God of War also.
Of course.
The first one.
I think. It's hard to pick. I'm gonna say
That's your favorite.
I'm most nostalgic about the first games, but I'm gonna say the last one. I really enjoyed the last one.
Okay. All right.
And third, wow. I'm gonna go back in time. I'm gonna really go back in time. Prince of Persia, Warrior Within.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
far back
Nice.
in time,
Nice.
dude.
Nice.
Back in time. I know. I can do it right now, but it's really hard for me to pick a few games and say that.
Warrior Within. I think Warrior Within is a good game. I don't think Prince of Persia games get talked about enough these days.
Mm.
You know, they got changed into Assassin's Creed, and then Assassin's Creed got changed to something else that they still call Assassin's Creed. But I did hear rumors that Prince of Persia might be coming back, and that would be really good.
I've also heard that. I'm also still thinking about a few games that I should mention. Metal Gear 5.
So good.
So
good.
Amazing game. Loved it. Red Dead Redemption 2, of course. Let's keep that one.
Okay.
I can go on and on. I cannot pick.
It was supposed to be 3, yeah. We're up to 5.
Okay, so Wazza decided to drop something. He says Ziff says everything fine, and then at Boerewors drops their heavy accent.
No, that's Tom.
Oh, sorry, chicken wingers. Sorry, my mistake.
And then Zadie said sack to Zef. And then Haley said, because of the potatoes being South African, she can see Waza standing in the supermarket with SA Potato saying, one of us. One of us.
Oh, jeez, what a tune. What a tune. Sorry, Tuesday was yesterday, was it? Jeez.
Yeah, Tuesday was yesterday, so you can't say attack to me today. But I do like the Boulevard's heavy accent thing, because it is true.
Oh
I was
my God.
I was talking...
Tyron, really? Rarig, Tyron.
So now, of all times, Oddly Otter decides to drop Afrikaans. I am sorry, Fred, you're not going to understand Ken for the next 5 minutes.
Ek moet Afrikaans praat vir 5 minute.
I'll translate. She has to speak Afrikaans for 5 minutes.
Lekker.
Okay.
He won.
So I'm going to let her speak for the rest of the time.
Okay.
I think it's a good time to end the podcast because we don't have to sit through
We can't end the podcast. We can't end it until 5 minutes is over.
Okay. Dark Knight Eyes vra, wat is die beste Suid-Afrikaanse kos wat jy gehad het wat jy nie in Mauritius kan kry nie?
Okay, so Chicken Wingers has said, I'm translating it for you, has asked you the question.
Dark Knight Haze.
Oh, sorry, Dark Knight Haze. What does it say? No, that's Chicken Wingers.
Dis dieselfde vraag.
Oh, okay, so Chicken Wingers and Dark Knight Haze said the same thing. What is your favorite South African food that you've had? Obviously in South Africa, but
Maar jy kan dit nie in Mauritius kry nie.
but you can't get it in Mauritius.
I do a top 3 game.
The what?
Can I pick 3? It's still hard to pick just one.
Top 3, yeah.
So first, the bride, obviously.
Okay, braai, it depends because lots of food gets cooked in a braai. What food from the braai?
Like specific food. All of it was good, so it's pretty. Oh, my dog comes by to say hello.
Hello, poopy.
Hello, dog. Hello, dog.
That is such a cute poopy.
The other one is sleeping, otherwise we would be barking right now. So, okay, so if I can pick I as a whole, I'm gonna say biltong.
Ooh, nice choice, dude. Nice choice.
Even your dog is happy about that.
And there's a Portuguese meal that I had at a restaurant with Miguel. I don't know if you know. You see, who was one of the judges. A really cool guy, really cool cosplayer, Miguel Lima. And that's my second pick.
Which one?
The third one. I don't have the third anymore because braai was on my top list, as a whole.
Yeah. Everything in the braai, yeah.
Yeah, everything in the braai.
Nogal.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wazo redeemed it, and I can't. No, Wazo was smart and redeemed it so that I can switch back to English.
This was doing your mod job.
Wazo was doing a good job, and I don't have to carry on speaking Afrikaans.
Wazo got smart.
You know what
smart.
I was about to do? I was about to activate the trap card using bits again. In case you went on too far. Because on this podcast, microtransactions win.
Yes.
We
to
pay
to get us to change something, all you have to do is give us a couple of bits or biddies, and then we'll change it. So, like for example, if you make us reverse our controllers for 15 minutes and someone doesn't like it, all you have to do is give us a few biddies and we'll flip our controllers back. Microtransactions, they're the best things in the world.
So Haley says that she remembers the restaurant. It was pretty good. And the chocolate milk.
Ooh,
Yeah,
chocolate milk. I love it. Absolutely love it. I bought like a couple of bottles of chocolate milk at the restaurant.
Clearly that chocolate milk really it hit home for you.
No, Wazo, we are not sponsored by EA.
No, we are most certainly not sponsored by EA.
You were trained by EA, not sponsored.
Yeah, we were trained by EA. We played enough of the games to know how to use microtransactions.
Yeah. Hashtag pay to win.
Ubisoft, by the looks of things, since they were clever enough to actually drop their breakpoint fuck up.
And Wazo also says that South African women love Freddie, especially your Instagram.
Yeah, dude, that you made me start working out because I You know, I don't want her running away from me, so now I'm trying to build that 6-pack because this keg. No, I'm kidding. I started gymming because I don't want to. I want to be
I
fit.
would never run away from you. I love you too.
See, this is she knows that the SA Geeks aren't the SA Geeks without both of us. She's
But
actually
that's
sucking
the
up to me.
point. That's the point where you go.
Not live on stream. Live on stream, I do this.
Ow. Haley says the way to Fred's heart is chocolate milk.
No. You know what we gotta do?
I cannot deny it.
Actually, you know what, Fred, I've got a better idea. What we're gonna do when we're in South Africa again, if the Nexus is still open, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you to the Nexus and you're gonna have one of their freaking milkshakes. You will never go back from that. Believe me. Never ever. They have the best milkshakes in the world.
I'm still trying to recover.
Okay.
I'm still trying to recover.
Looking forward to try that.
This can like to be the truth, my bre.
Well, Wayne says the way to your heart is chocolate milk, doggy biscuits, and dogs.
Dogs. Dogs first. And chocolate milk and the rest.
Yeah, your dog clearly is more intent on keeping you from
Anything else.
No, it's
Oh, it's so cute.
cute.
Showing on stream. Look at that. Look at that.
That is by far the cutest poopy I've ever seen. That is
He loves him so much.
Just let me kiss you, Fred.
Bloody.
That is proof right there that Fred's a good person.
Yes,
It is indeed.
we have undeniable proof.
Yeah, when his dog loves him so much, it comes on stream with him.
Package deal.
Have you ever played a game and it's made you rage quit? Where you've just gone like, no, I'm not doing this no more.
That's not rage quit,
Done.
Angel.
Well-
Rage quit is, for fuck's sake, screw this!
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. I'll go to the stream over there and come back. Sorry.
No problem. You guys can stare at those beautiful cosplays behind him.
Yes.
That Kratos one looks freaking epic.
Guys, I only think I have time for like maybe one more question. I have another podcast after this that I have to.
Okay, so game that got me to rage quit. Yeah, actually it was like Apex Legends. I was playing Apex Legends, and it was freaking lagging. A lot of times actually, like not just once, a lot of times.
That sucks. All right, so we have one more question. I think Choose is going to ask that question.
Oh yeah, Fred, what are you playing and watching right now? What's taking up your time?
Oh, I've been starting a game that I've finished actually. I've been playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Nice. Good choice.
Nice,
Good game.
Really like the game. Really love Human Revolution, so I really like the sequel, Mankind Divided. And yeah, I've just started it over again because we've been on lockdown and all the stores were closed, and we don't have the new games that just came out. So I was looking forward to get the Predator one, but they haven't got it in the stores yet. And I'm a big old school guy. You know, I rarely download games. So I love to keep a copy. To keep a CD, high five. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait. But yeah, lately I've been playing Deus Ex, and
You
before
really
that,
are, yeah. You really are Mauritian version of Ross.
Yeah, you are. You're old
It's
school.
really weird.
I've got, you would not believe how many hard copies of games I actually have. We've got a shit ton of games because I do not do digital. If I have to, I'll go digital, but if I like the game so much, I will buy a hard copy of it because I have to have the disc in my collection.
yeah, same here. The only time I got a game, I bought a game digitally was like last year when some friends, actually my colleagues, the guys from my office came to my house, and we wanted to play Tekken. I didn't have Tekken, so I had to download it. So yeah, it was the only time I bought a game. PS.
When you have no choice. All right, so
Waza says the only difference between the two of you is that Ziff has shirts and you have hair.
yeah, look, there's nothing. There's nothing.
Well, also, and Fred
I'm
cosplays,
for a reason.
and Ziff doesn't.
I used to shave.
Oh, no, I shave it because I'm actually going bald, dude. I've got bald patch in the back here and the receding hairline. So I decided, you know what's good? No hair. Now I look like Kratos.
Yeah.
But anyway. Sorry?
You could pull a really good Kratos cosplay.
I
He
would.
needs to lose some
but
weight first.
This year,
He'll be fat Kratos. Like Fat Thor. He'll be fat Kratos.
I'd be fat
I
later.
still love you.
Just get a
I like
suit. Just get a suit. Get a suit with the muscle padding. Sorted.
Yeah, dude, the muscle padding doesn't work when your stomach is out here.
It might. The new Kratos has like a much wider waist. Like if you played like the original Kratos, whose waist is like that big, then you have a problem. But I think with the new Kratos might be easy for you to pull off.
So anyway, Fred, where can everyone find you? Like social media wise, where can all of our viewers find you?
I'm mostly active on Instagram at Fred Cosplay, but you can also find me on Facebook, same name, Fred Cosplay.
Nice. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, very short. Okay. Down below, Geekoscopy, where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet at Geekoscopy. You can see it on YouTube. It's right away. But if you're on Twitch, you might not be able to see that. So let me flip it for you. Maybe not that way.
The upside down again.
Geekoscopy. Yeah. All over the internet.
All right. And of course, we are the SA Geeks. You can find us right here on Twitch. You can follow us. Actually, please follow us. It's always nice to have more follows. But also, yeah, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter. We're on all the social media until they ban us. So you'll find us there. We'll be there. Obviously, that's just how it works.
Before we go, Gregory Batman says that you should do a Kratos cosplay and wants to know if Fred will let you borrow his outfit. No, his Kratos outfit.
I'm too fat for that outfit.
It's adjustable. Stable.
You say it's stable, dude. You've seen me.
It's adjustable. Like you can just stretch it a little bit. It's cool. It will fit.
I plan on losing this. So.
But anyway, we are going to go and raid Reformed. It is his birthday today.
Oh, it's his birthday. He's also a Gemini. Happy birthday to Reformed. He probably can't hear me, but anyway.
Go type it in
Thank
his
you
chat.
so much for being on the show, Fred. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's really awesome to actually chat to you again. Obviously, we're gonna keep in contact like we always do. I'm gonna get your PSN details. We're gonna DM you a little bit later. I want your PSN details because I'm joining you on PlayStation Network. Awesome. But anyway, yeah, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching us. Thanks for asking the questions. You guys have been one unbelievable crowd, as always. It's great to actually have you guys here. But remember, as always, bye! And the way they say.